I worked super late tonight, but that was because I was just really inspired to get a bunch of things done on the Patreon. So I spent a good chunk of my time today listening to YouTube videos on how to improve Patreon. So I took time to simplify it. I had something like 5 or 6 different tiers. It was just not professionally done. It didn't look great. There's still a lot of improvements that I want to make to it, but there were a couple of things that I decided I was going to add. I updated all the descriptions, added pictures for the tiers, but I also wanted to add a product that paid patrons would get as soon as they sign up. And because I realized, like, if you don't have kind of something that you can give away right away, it's really difficult for people to kind of want to make that next step over. So put together a worksheet in my head and then had ChatGPT mock it up, and then I made a finalized version of it in a Google Sheet once I got home today. So piecing it all together, it was really kind of fun seeing an idea go from kind of a concept in my head this morning and listening to creators to then spending a little bit of time on working it out and then turning it all into a completed project, basically. I mean, there's always more things that I want to do to help grow that, but just looking it over after, an hour and a half of work, and I was like, wow, this looks so much better, and was really, really just proud of how I was able to take something and instead of just thinking about it for days or weeks on end, to quickly move on something to get it done. I stayed up later because I was on a roll. And from everything that I've been learning from all of the kind of most efficient creators and just people out there who know business, they just say, work until you're tired and ready to fall asleep, and then fall asleep and then wake up and work again. And especially if you're broke, especially if you're poor, that's what you need to do. And so I had that. I have an idea that I didn't write down, so I'm just going to record it here in case I forget it. But I think I'm going to explore this idea of the 12-4-8 principle. Spending 12 hours a day on your current income streams that are currently producing income. Spending 4 hours a day on future investment. Now, that could be investment in yourself personally, but it's also designed to be investment in future income streams or in things that you're doing that you hope will produce income but are not yet producing income. So for me, that would be things like monetizing the YouTube channel. So spending basically a full 12-hour day doing work, bringing in money to pay today's bills, and that might be non-scalable work that you would do in those 12 hours, but in the 4 hours, really investing. So it might be investing in yourself, but definitely investing in some form of scalable income stream that you can be building towards something bigger down the road. And then 8 hours of rest. And that rest can be divvied up between food, sleep, relaxation, different things like that. But I'm gonna I've kind of been testing out the principle, but want to kind of just get that idea working a little bit more, and definitely looking to do a video on that shortly. I'm working on 2 faceless YouTube channels, and that's taking, even though none of them are particularly labor intensive, it is still just, it takes a chunk of time to do it, but I'm seeing potential on both of them for what they can be. And by producing less long form videos and cutting shorts out of those, I see some potential, and I just want to give that a good run. So let's go with that. I really don't have much negative. I'm actively aware and actively correcting myself anytime my mind starts to wander. And again, I just attribute that in part to the learning, the studying, the leveling up that I've been trying to do, but also just the accountability that I'm providing with this video. And I don't really care if these videos aren't seen by many people, because even if it's seen by one person, I know that there's that accountability. And when I realized the point I was tired, it's like, okay, but I can't go to bed because I have to record this video. And barring things like major sickness or just a completely late night or sick kids or something like that, I'm planning on doing this video every day, because I think part of the accountability is just showing up for this video, even if I have nothing to say. But there will always be something from throughout the day. But I can tell you right now that I am very tired and I'm probably missing things. But I think, like I said, the proudest thing was working through a whole plan on getting the Patreon developed, and just continuing to pray to have my eyes open for a good opportunity for a second vehicle, like I mentioned yesterday, because it's just that's a huge time suck. That is a major problem. Like, I thought it was going to be a slight inconvenience, and now I've come to realize, like, no, this is major. This is costing us time and or money, depending on the situation, because it's just, they're not free to leave school when they're done, or I'm not free to deliver when I want to deliver, or it's not good. And so that is on the priority list. But of course, with that just comes having the money to do that. So then earning goes onto the top of the priority list, and trying to work on monetization and just maximizing food delivery, maximizing eBay, maximizing the current income streams as they are, and still working hard, basically trying to work 2 jobs, and maybe even more like 2.5 jobs, of just trying to produce income in as many ways as possible. And I just don't have the luxury of any extra time right now, so I got to push all in on that. So that's where I'm at. I've got maybe a couple other things I'll work on as I'm dozing off, of just cutting some shorts out, but that's fine, because if I fall asleep before the shorts are cut, that's not a big deal. But no, I'm feeling good with where things are at, headed into this weekend.